view B12. We have a couple errors. We darkened it in and colored it better so you can see. I love this with the double bond, putting yellow in. So it's real easy to count the number of double bonds, see how many they are, where they are. So even on the ends, this is the adenine with the ribose and the phosphate on it. This is a whole nucleotide base, I guess you'd call it. So this would be ruby ribose. So even got the alcohol from the sugar on there. Looks like an extra one too. We'll have to check that. Yeah, see? The way that went, there should only be one. That's probably why we messed that up. So we're going to have to maybe cover all that up, put the alcohol on number 1. That's probably 1. So that's 1, 2, 3. How do they number them going around? It's usually 3, 5, 3, 4, 5. But see, it's a ribose. So we were looking and we saw too many sugars on there. So we're going to have to take one of those away. Can we fix that with a marker? Let's make that one triangle here a real big one. How about that? So that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll kind of work, huh? Can we cover up the... have to cover up that. So made this into a carbon diamond. I'll just color all that in, see what happens here. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, we got to bring that out further, right? And then color that up and down. Looks sloppy, but at least we fixed it, right? And there's probably going to be a dot there, so we'll cover that up. We just spotted that one, and see, that's why this technique is so useful. Just looking for letters doesn't cut it. So what we found, I was looking at it up top here, and I knew that these rings were like doubly connected. There's a ring, and then there's a ring outside it. So I was looking up here, I noticed this side chain was hanging off. Let's hone in on this. So as I looked, it wasn't connected. So what's going to happen is we covered our methyl and we made this into a ring outside the inner ring. So let's see how we can do that. We're going to take the marker, and just by connecting the diamonds, we're able to do this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, connected on the corner here. So we were looking, and we see some of these side groups, even though they're the nitrogen carbonyl, amyl we call it, AMYL I guess, nitrogen carbon double bond O. Well, up here, see there's only one carbon in between. Here there are 2. So there's 2 types of side groups. And looking at the diamonds, because this thing is really big, it's a big molecule, right? Looking at the diamonds makes it a lot easier to count them and see. See over here, it's the same way. 2 carbons in between that amyl group. Over here, only 1. So see, the diamond technique is really priceless. And then the H's will help tell you too. 2 H's. So over here, what are we going to need? That's why I wanted to color code these carbons too, because see this carbon here, if I'd have been looking, I would have known the methyl on there wasn't right. So that's a carbon that's got 4 bonds, all the carbons on it. This up here, that carbon became the same way. See, I had both those, no connection. That had a little dot on it. That wasn't right. So now when I look, this carbon actually is going to have a hydrogen on it. That goes there, so that's got all 4 bonds there. So see how it's an inner ring inside the other rings? And then lastly, we found another methyl was here. So you're really able to catch your mistakes by using this technique. What's a methyl? CH3. So 3 dots on this. So it's really easy to distinguish the side groups now when you're looking at this, because you got your nitrogen carbonyl, call it here, right? CH2s, and then you look and you see a methyl, because 3 red dots on there. Over here's a methyl. So see, when you got a methyl hanging off, makes it a lot easier to discriminate between molecules. And then what I love, this is where it really comes in artistic, is holding the metal ions in these rings. Porphyrin rings, I guess they'll call them. But what makes this so extraordinary is you've got an adenine hanging off the side of this, and the N in the adenine ring actually hangs over and complexes on that. So see, you've got 5 N's on this cobalt here. And this N, I mean, look where he is. This is in the adenine ring down there. That N is the 5-membered ring next to the 6. That lone pair of electrons, the alien, is able to do an electronic bond on that. So isn't that neat? And you know the beauty of this vitamin B is it's only made by bacteria in your small intestine. It's stored in your liver. So your liver stores something that it doesn't make, and yet it needs it. It's an essential nutrient, okay? Even though I think I've read your body will store up to 10 years worth or something. Is it that many? I'm not sure. Another thing is they're calling it the cyano. I haven't found where the cyano group is on this. My memory is escaping me. But come on, this is so much more artistic, and you're really able to catch your mistakes. And that's why I'm doing this rough with you guys. I want you to see how you do it. You know, I could sit here and act like I'm a genius and draw it perfect every time, but we're learning. So this next one, I'm going to tell you, I did have to practice it once because we're doing a serotonin into melanin. Melatonin, was it? Well, we'll show you in a minute, but I had to get the diamonds and the triangles right. And you'll see this is really neat.